But anyways, so this question here, 6.6, may not actually need us to have anything from the previous question. Now, here's why. Our understanding of how a parabola works is what should help us in this question. And our understanding of how sigma notation works is what should help us in this question. So, for example, the equation of G. The equation of G is a parabola, right? So all we need to know is if they're going to ask us to calculate this expression here minus the next one, showing all working. What they mean is, you see the equation of G, right? This is what the equation of G looks like. G of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c.
Yeah.
Like that. Now, you have to understand that this first expression, you have to understand what it means. All this is saying is from 0 to 3, you have to be throwing those numbers into your equation of G. You see, so your equation of G, all they're trying to say is where k is, where x is, right? It's just a k there, which is just a placeholder anyway, so it's not a big deal. But all they're trying to say is in the equation of G, you're going to be putting numbers starting from 3 all the way to, starting from 0 all the way to 3.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be adding those numbers up. When you're done, you're going to add numbers from where k is a 4 up until 5, and then you subtract. Now, the idea is the nature of your parabola. It's in such a way that values repeat. For example, where x is a 0, right, you have a specific y value up here. But then that same y value repeats over here. You see?
Yeah.
And that thing is where x is, we actually need to find out where a is actually, because at least we know where the middle is, so that we can see which x values are to the left here, which x values are to the right here. So let's see. Here you would have been asked to get the coordinates of a and b, but getting a, it's just the x-intercept of f. So here you would have just said y is 0, 2 to the power of x minus 8. 8 goes to the other side. 2 to the power of 3 is what 2 to the power of x is equal to. Therefore, x is a 3. So, definitely a has to have an x value of 3. B already has an x value of 0. So, whichever x, the x has an x value of 3, because that's the x-intercept. That's what we're looking for anyways. So once we know this is a 3, automatically you now know that 1 and 2 is to the left side. So you're going to have 1 over here somewhere, 2 over here somewhere. So the logic I'm trying to use is this one. The x value of the y value of 1 is over here, and it is the same as this here on the other side. Same with 2. 2, whatever its y value is over there, it's the same on the other side. So you see here, 2 is only 1 unit away from 3. So it means that this one here is a 4. And then 1 is only 2 units away from 3. So 2 units later here is going to be a 5. Do you see it?
Yes, and then a 6.
Yeah. And then obviously from 0 to 1, that's 1 unit. So it means from 5 going to where this is, that's just a 6. But that's not relevant to us right now, because we are only adding up values starting from 0 all the way until 5. So this is where your logic needs to help you, because all you now know is if you're going to be putting values into this equation, what you know is k, where g of x is equal to 0, where g of x is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is what we need to know based on the knowledge we have. Based on the knowledge we have, right, we can easily say that g, when you put a 0, okay, the 0, 1 is not necessary for now. Let's just start with 1, where g, in the equation of g, if you put a 1, it's equal to if you put a 5. Let me color code it nicely so that you can still, yeah. When you put a 1, it's the same as when you put a 5. And then next, when you put a 2, it's the same as when you put a 4. You see? And then the 3 already we can see it's gonna give us a 0. So that doesn't matter. And then for the 0, we can already see that that's giving us an output of 4.5. So all of these, this is the logic, right? Based on your image. The logic here says, if you put 0 in the equation of G, your outcome is 4.5. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put 4.5. And then when you put G as 1, do you see that the outcome is the same as if you put G as 5?
Yeah.
So let's just write this here for now. And then when you put G as 2, see your outcome is the same as when you put 4 in the equation of G.
Yeah.
So let's put that here also. And then the next one, do you see if you put 3 in the equation of G, your outcome is a 0. The Y value is a 0 there.
Yeah.
So let's put a 0 here. And then here we repeat. Where we put G as 4, we know it's the same as 2. Right?
Yeah. And 1.
We put G as 5, we know it's the same as 1. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you know now is, in your calculation, you're going to be adding from 0 until 3, right? So you're going to be saying here, G0 plus G1 plus G2 plus G3. After adding these up, you're going to subtract G at 4 minus G at 5. Do you see?
Yes.
Yes. And then based on our calculations, we know that G1 is the same as G5. So the G1 here is going to cancel the G5 there.
Okay.
Because they're
And then does the 2 cancel out the 4?
yes, the G2 here cancels the G4 here. You see?
Yeah.
Yes. So now you're left with G0 plus G3, of which the G0, we have a value for that. It is 4.5. The G3, we have a value for that. It is a 0. So your final answer is 4.5.
Okay. So you do all that, you get the same answer. Okay, no, but that makes sense how you interpreted it on the graph. Could you have also done it through like the Sigma notation version? So like where you take G, yeah, G in bracket 0 plus G bracketing 1 plus G, yeah. Would have worked out the same. So it was the fact that you had to know that G2 equals G4 and G1 equals G5.
Yeah, because your graph is symmetrical. So if you're gonna have a 1 here, it's gonna be the same on the other side. So it's all about the distance from the middle. You see, so if the distance from the middle here is 2 units, it means the distance from the middle here has to be 2 units also. So those are the X values that have matching Y values. Same here. These are the 2 X values that have matching Y values. These are the 2 X values that also have matching Y values. Because it will always be X values that are the same distance from the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it now.
Dope.